Hello and welcome to another video in which we are going to explore the world of analog cameras. I want you to join me on this adventure of figuring out if this camera works, how it works, and if we can make some pictures and how will they look. So make yourself comfortable, make some tea, coffee, and let's get to it. I remember that we had this camera since I was a child, so it was in this household for decades now, and it wasn't until like 2 years ago when we were talking about it and my father said that he still has it, and now finally I had time to get my hands on it. Right now when I'm looking at it, it looks familiar. I mean, I'm used to digital photography. I'm not the best photographer ever, but at least I know like the basic stuff, you know, the aperture, shutter speeds and stuff like that. So the things that I'm seeing right now look familiar, you know, the ring for aperture and stuff like that. I'll be showing you the whole process of me trying to learn how to use this, and then in the end, hopefully we'll see some results as well. Let's first look at what is this actually, how it looks in my hands. Let me get my second camera, and by second camera I mean my phone. So yeah, here we have the camera. You can see that it comes in this sturdy cover inside. It looks, you know, it's like a soft fabric, but we can put this aside for now. And now we have the camera. This is how it looks. I would say Praktika because I'm Czech, but yeah, Praktika in English, I guess. MTL5. This is an old German camera from 80s. I think it was made between 1983 and 1985. And right here, you can see that we have some numbers here. This is shutter speed, I would assume. If I take this off, you can see the lens. Wow, it's a 50 millimeters f1.8. Jesus, that's perfect. This is the nifty 50, as they say. 50, I really like 50 millimeters. Yeah, looks nice. You can see how it's changing, how you can open and close it. This is, I guess that you're taking the pictures with this. That's all I can tell you as of now. This, I assume, is for focusing. This is the focus ring. So we have the focus ring, we have the aperture ring, and we have the shutter speed. All the things you might need. I don't remember much how to use the rest of these things. Okay, I think that now is the time for some research. So I'll get back to you as soon as possible as I find out more about this camera. So, I have my laptop here because I actually found a manual for the camera, which is very lucky. So, as you can see, there's the manual that I found. First language is German. I can't really speak German. The second, I think, is some Hungarian or something. Third, I don't even know what this language is. But the fourth language is Czech, actually, which is so lucky because I speak Czech. That will come in super handy. Once again, I will show you. So yeah, this lever is for rewinding the film. This button is to make the photo. You can see that there is also a number count. More things that I found out. This number here is actually for your film. So you buy specific film, like the sensitivity. In your digital camera, it would say ISO, which is like the sensitivity of the sensor. But in analog cameras, I found out that you buy the film, so the sensitivity of the film. If you want to shoot in darker conditions, you need like higher number. Now it makes all sense. I never understood. When I started with digital camera, I was like, what is an ISO? And everybody was like, it's sensitivity of the sensor, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what does that mean, you know? And it didn't make sense. But with the analog, finally, it makes sense now that in the digital, they just took over the old ways of using the ISO, like the sensitivity. And then this is the shutter speed. So you can go from 1000, which is super fast, all the way down to 30. And all the way down to actually almost a second. Oh my God, what? The B? There's a bulb function on this camera? That's crazy. So bulb function means that as long as you're going to hold the button, it will be taking the picture, which means that you can open the camera for a very long period of time. I'm so surprised I see this on such an old camera, because you can actually connect through this hole, I guess. I think you screw it in and then you can have like the remote control and like, you know, fire the camera. But wow. That means that you can do like the long exposures, you know, taking photos of night sky. I would be super interested in seeing how this camera would take pictures of night sky. I don't think that I have enough time to do that in this video, but if you are interested in seeing how this camera would look like in the dark conditions, like taking the pictures of night sky, definitely let me know in the comment section and we can try out the bulb function on the analog. That would be super interesting, I think. And as I said before, this is the aperture ring, this is the focus ring, and this button actually works as a self timer. You can actually see when I wind this up, just like focus on this small button. It's going to slowly go down We went through all the settings, I think, and I can show you one more thing, and that's how to open the camera to even put the film in. This thing. This is for the film itself. This is for winding up the film when you're finishing the roll. And then when I take this up and I pull it up, it opens up. So this is the slot where I would put the film, but I think I will have to ask my father to help me with this, because I bought the film. It was not cheap. It was like 10 euros or like $12, and I don't want to mess this up. So I will try to ask him if he can help me out with this, and we'll get back to the manual. So the film is successfully in the camera right now, and I want to show you how the focusing works with this analog. It's really impressive. I have this probe that we are going to try to focus on. You can see that if I'm moving the aperture ring, it will show the middle circle blackened if it's underexposed. So I have to change the aperture ring to make it visible. Once it's see-through, that means that the exposure is correct. And then when I move the focus ring, it will shift the picture correctly, because you can see that the edge is like shifted, that it's not aligned. That means that the object that you're taking a picture of is not in focus. So when you move the focus ring, it will actually align the subject. I would be really curious to see how this works mechanically, because I have no idea how that could even work. Very interesting stuff. Also, as you can see here in the manual, on the left side, when you see this black thing, that means that your film is not winded up. So you would have to pull the lever again to wind it. Also down here, there's this round thing. When you open it, there is a battery that goes in. And once you have the battery, this thing that you press here will also show, which is here on the picture on the right side. When you're looking through the viewfinder on the right side, you will see the plus and minus. And when you press this, there's this line that will show you if your picture is over or underexposed. Very helpful. Again, I have no idea how that works mechanically, but super cool. All right, so now I think I understand most of the stuff. This manual saved my life. So yeah, now I guess that we are ready to go take some pictures with this camera. So, we are now in Dolní Vítkovice, which is an old industrial part of my town. This place was used for coal mining and production of raw steel back in the day. I think the production started at like 1828 all the way up to 1998, and I thought it might be cool to bring the camera here and try to take some photos. We have enough sun, so we might take some cool pictures with the shadow and stuff. I already took like 2 pictures. I have 36 pictures that I can take, but look at this place. It's crazy. I don't know what the tram is doing here. This is a very typical tram that I would travel with around my town. Maybe you can take a picture of that actually. That would be cool. First shot of the day. I am still not quite sure how is it with the exposure. The camera is trying to help you, but because this is my first time shooting it, I am not quite sure if I'm getting it correctly or not. That's another picture. 30 pictures to go. So another nice picture that I can think of, maybe. This building has like a nice shape, like a V shape. Also we have this thing that is still working and spinning. Look at this. I feel like there's a huge potential for good photos. I'm just not that good at making photos. Maybe it wasn't the best idea to shoot on such a sunny day, because I'm really confused about the exposure. The camera can't really tell what I'm trying to shoot, of course. I'm used to my digital camera that's like, you know, filled with electronics and chips and stuff that's like calculating the exposure and everything, and it will show you immediately how the picture will look. With this, you kind of have to know what you're doing. The problem is, I don't know what I'm doing. Wait, what is this? That's a new place. I have not been here for a long time, so I don't really know what's here. Oh, it says it's a kino. Wow, it's a cinema. Drink and film. Look at this has some potential, doesn't it? I usually like to have something in the foreground of my photos, but here I can't really find like leading lines to the object I'm shooting. I think I just found the composition that I was looking for. These feet of the tower can help me build like the foreground and have like a leading line all the way to the top. I'm not quite happy with the result. I actually like those reflections, if you can see them. Maybe I can try to take one more picture and then I think we'll move on and go somewhere more green. Maybe I want to visit this forest on the edge of the city. We are now in a forest. It's another day. That's why I have another jacket. We have these beautiful autumn colors and sun is kind of setting almost. I was thinking it might be really nice to take some pictures of nature as well. And just like a mix of things, you know, like buildings, nature, maybe some people, some street photography. I'm very bad at that, but I can try. I'm not quite sure what I'm looking for the photos. I don't want to point the camera all the time just up and then find out that I overexposed all my photos. I'm loving these colors right now. I've been walking around trying to take some pictures. I'm really curious how it's going to turn out. There are these pine cones. Maybe that could be a interesting photo. Maybe it will be stupid. Maybe it will be underexposed. I have no idea. But yeah, let's move on. So, I'm in Prague right now. We're going to try to take some pictures here as well. Prague is a very beautiful city. We should be able to get some nice shots, but I made a mistake and I wasted a lot of photos of the film, and now I have like 5 or 6 shots left. So, we'll see what we can do about that. I'm liking these overarching bridges between the buildings, so maybe I can try to take a photo of that. The architecture here is kind of nice. Look, it's painted all over there. So I just took a picture of this thing, which is called Prašná Brána, and if we continue this way, I think we can get to the oldest clock on the planet, something like that, I don't know. It's like super old astrological clock that's here in Prague. So as you can see, there is a lot of people around here. You can see a lot of guides, you know, and people coming. They want to take the picture of the old clock. So this is the building, this is the tower, and there's the clock. And that was like perfect timing, because I think this was the last shot of the film. So, we are back now, and the film is full. So, there should be 36 photos on it. Now what we have to do is take out the film and hopefully not screw it up. This is kind of scary because if I mess it up, all of the photos will be gone. So, hopefully it will go all good. So now, as you can see, it says 36 here. So that means the film is full. This lever is not functioning anymore. So what I have to do is press this button. Okay, that's pressed. And I should rewind this now clockwise. This is kind of scary, to be honest. Oops. Oh yeah, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've read it, it's good to flip it 5 times and now it should be finished. Yeah, there's no tension anymore. So I will close this. Pull it up. Yep. And this is our film. So yeah, this is our film filled with our photos. I'm going to hide it back in the packaging. Now we have to go and try to develop this film. I found a nice place where they should do it pretty fast. It should be done in a few days. So I'll bring it there and then we'll go check out the photos. I got it. I'm super excited. The lady at the shop was super helpful and she actually made it in one day, in like few hours. So they're in JPEGs, which is not great, but you know what? I'll take it. So I did not see these pictures yet. We are going to explore them together. Yeah, I just saw like small thumbnails, but I was super happy that the pictures actually came out with something, because at some point I unscrewed the lens because I wanted to see like if it's possible, and I was reading online that it is possible. You can unscrew it and it should be fine, but I didn't know if this camera maybe has some defect, and if something was wrong inside and like it would be letting light in, I would be screwed. I would basically have the whole roll of film wasted. But yeah, so I'm super happy to see some results. And this was actually the first photo that I took. So this was just like the throwaway photo, the first one that I took, because the first one, my father told me that it's better if you just take like one picture that you don't care about, because it might not be great when you're like putting the film in. The second photo, this looks very nice. I like the grain, but the colors are very nice. Yeah, this is from the technical museum that I took you to. It is not completely in focus. I can see that like this is not sharp. It might be by movement of my hand or something, but I like the bokeh. Very artistic, of course. Like I said, I'm not the best photographer ever. This I kind of like. It is not the best picture, but it's getting a lot of detail. I'm actually surprised that like the building is not completely in shadow. And sure, the clouds are blown out, but this could have been much worse, I think. Those are those towers. Nice. Here I was really afraid it will be blown out, like the sky or something, but this looks perfect. Like it looks really good, I think, at least. The tower, that's nice. This one, these are the leading lines I was talking about when I was taking the picture, and I think it turned out okay. This one is... Okay, we're going to skip this one. This one is not as artistic as I imagined, but sure. Yeah, guys, okay. I'm not great at photos. This one is horrible. What did I do here? I did something wrong. This is completely out of focus. It would be a bad picture anyway, so... I'm going to be honest here, like these last few pictures, I was just trying to get the film done because I didn't know I'm going to get to Prague. If I knew that I'm going to get to Prague with the camera, I would save some of these photos. I really like the bokeh. That looks really cool. This was probably f1.8 because there's just a slim part that's like in focus. But the colors, what do you think? Let me know, guys. I'm curious what you think about this. These trees, I like that. I like this photo. You can see there's a little bit of the fringe, the purples. This is something that I would probably get rid of in post-production if I was taking the photo with the digital camera and have it in RAW, but I don't have it here, so. This one, when I saw it in the thumbnail, like she gave me like this sheet of small thumbnails of the photos. This one looked nicer in the small version. It's kind of a shame this one is not as nice when I'm seeing it on the screen. Yeah, I like this one. I like the colors again. This one is horrible, let's be honest. Yeah, this one, I think it's hard to take the picture holding the camera and holding the subject as well, because you're focusing with the ring, and then when you move a little bit, it will get out of focus. Okay, sure. This one is horrible, but You know what? I can say that this is an artistic vision, that I wanted it to be blurred out. This one I like. Yeah. This was, I think it was like in the morning when the sun was nice. That's also like, I didn't have perfect conditions with the light. Usually as a photographer, you're trying to get the golden hour or something, you know, and like trying to get good light. Most of the time I did not get the good light, but this is one of those occasions where I did. So I'm liking this. Yeah, this is cool. This is just horrible. These two, I know. I was just trying, you know. I was in the city and I was trying to like focus on the cars but not on the flowers, and it just turned out to be horrible. The foreground is like underexposed, the background is overexposed, it's all bad. This one, I really like this one. I don't know, what do you guys think? Personally, I like this one because the building is very sharp, the light is nice, it's like, it's not golden hour but it looks very pretty. Yeah, the church, overexposed a little bit. It's really hard to see with the lever, you know, like with the line on the side that's telling you if it's over or underexposed. I was trying to like fix it, but apparently I did a good job. This is nice, I think. No? I am really surprised by this camera and the quality of the photos. I mean, not the quality of the photos as in they are good photos, because they're not, but I mean the sharpness and the colors, and there's this soft grain. I totally understand why people take pictures with analog these days. First it was like a hipster thing, and nowadays it got like very popular. I think there is a lot of people taking pictures with analog, and I totally understand why, because it has its own magic, you know? It really does. I'm so bad at street photography. I thought that this might be like a cool picture. This grandpa was looking at the bookstore and I wanted to like take this, you know, the classic street photography style picture, but it just turned out to be bad. But this kind of works, but I would have to probably fix something in the post, rotate it a little bit, like, you know, like fix the lines basically, just so it's leveled. If the lines were correct, I think this might be cool. In train station, look at these colors. Like, I know that it's autumn and like the colors are nice in general because it's autumn, but wow, I like this picture. And this is in Prague. Yes, you can see dark conditions, but even then still, like, these are not underexposed. Like, they're grainy, but you can still see the shadows. I wonder if this is the doing of the lady at the shop and like developing the film, which probably is the case, but I would have to get into that, you know, like maybe in the future again we can try to take the photos at night, the long exposure stuff, but we can also see if I'm capable of actually developing the film myself. That would be interesting. Again, this is the Prašná brána that I was talking about. It's not a good photo, but it's a nice subject at least. Again, street photography, why am I even trying? It looks so bad. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed with my skills, but let's not look at the skills, let's just look at the quality of the camera, okay? And this is the last photo, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, this is the astronomical clock. In the video, when I was shooting myself, I said astrological. It's not astrological, it's astronomical. I was afraid that this might be overexposed, but it is not. Okay, so what do you guys think? But yeah, this was an interesting experience. I hope you enjoyed the video, because for me it was super fun to like try around and play with the analog camera and with the film. And there was like this a little bit of like a suspension, waiting for the photos and how will they turn out, you know? It's not something that I would put in my camera bag all the time, just because, like I said before, it's kind of heavy and clunky to bring around. But if you have time and space to like bring this and try to shoot some nice photos, it's definitely an interesting experience to try an analog camera after years of using digital, you know? Nowadays, of course, it's super easy to take pictures. You have your phone with you all the time. You can just, you know, take one picture after another. And this was like a nice reminder of slowing down maybe and just thinking about what you're taking picture of actually. But that's it for now. If you are interested in more videos about traveling and photography, definitely click the like button and subscribe, and I will see you next time. But until then, ciao.